You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
Welcome to the White Wall Sessions Radio. I'm your host, Dan Schaefer. On tonight's show, Lyal Strickland, The Lowest Pair, and Elizabeth Cook. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter by searching The White Wall Sessions. The White Wall Sessions would like to thank these fine sponsors for their support. Last Stop CD Shop, Bell Incorporated, Workplace IT Management, Ben's Brewing Company, Screenflare, J. Rick Music, The Pink Moon Room, Minuteman Press, and South Dakota Friends of Traditional Music. Lyal Strickland is a singer-songwriter, guitar player, and full-time farmer from Buffalo, Missouri. With the Ozarks in his soul, he tells intriguing stories with his songs and delivers them with a voice to match.
Try not to move too far away.
$250,000 don't buy that much. Gonna need 100 more to keep my daddy's place up. 3 years of taxes have gone unpaid, and my girl pulls her weight as a hotel maid. I left the farm for a year or two, bought a half education that I never used. Now papers in the desk where I never sit, got a whole new group of associates. But you can't spend your way out of nothing. That's a big hole and you'll never climb out. But if you got a long handle and that shovel in your hands, I might hit a rock and you'll know where you stand. Broke a piece of glass from the fist last night, but I never really meant it to cause a fight. Now there's some times when I lose my mind, and I know when I do that I'm not so kind. Thought about leaving a time or two, but the only good thing I got in this world is you. Now I can get lost and I can be free, but there's no telling what it'll end up costing me. But you can't spend your way out of nothing. That's a big hole and you'll never climb out. But if you got a long handle and that shovel in your hand, I might hit a rock and you'll know where you stand. $250,000 don't buy that much. Gonna need 100 more to keep my daddy's place up. 3 years of taxes have gone unpaid, and my girl pulls her weight as a hotel maid.
Thank you, guys.
We're here at the White Wall Sessions with Lyal Strickland. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So you are from Buffalo. I'm going to defer to you for the name of the state.
Ooh. This is a point of contention. My friends hate me for this, but I say Missouri. I'm a Missouri. My dividing line is somewhere around Jeff City, Missouri.
Yeah. Yeah,
See?
I know where that is.
Yep. Anything north of Jeff City is Missouri. Anything south is Missouri. That's my personal opinion. Don't send me hate mail.
Okay. So that's just a little north of Springfield there, right?
Yeah, actually just about half an hour or so. Buffalo's a wonderful little town. It's a small town-ish. We've got about 3,000 people. It's a county seat. So, it's not that small. We do have the third smallest Walmart in the chain, last I checked.
Really?
And
what does a small Walmart look like?
it has everything that's not in season. So we should have, pool floaties coming in soon, and fall area, and parkas in spring. So, yeah. But it is a nice little town. It's about half an hour away from Springfield, maybe 40 minutes away from the lakes up there, and just kind of nestled in its own little world, which is nice.
And I gotta say, someone, one of your old classmates or someone from your hometown who lives in Rapid City now, drove across the state to see you.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And I had another buddy today. It was driving through Arkansas, and he said, he goes, "Hey, I'm listening to your songs in Arkansas." I said, "Well, I'm listening to my songs in South Dakota, trying to remember them." and we were talking earlier, and I think my theory is that there's 3,000 people in Buffalo, and I think there's probably roughly about 60,000 that have left and have spread out across the country. So we've wormed our way into every community, and there's always a ticket back home somewhere.
Oh, that's great. So the movie The Last Waltz, which is prerequisite for any White Wall Sessions fan.
Yeah.
Levon Helm at one point is talking about Arkansas, which is just not far from you. I mean, Ozarks, that area.
Yeah, Levon was from Arkansas, and the rest of the boys from Canada, right? Yeah.
Right.
Crazy.
But in that movie, he's talking about where the Appalachians country hit the blues and then hit the Texas. It kind of happened right in that area.
Yeah.
Tell me how rich the music scene is, or the feel in that area.
It's, I'll be quite honest with you. For me, it's beautiful, and it's a little bit sad, just because there's so much talent there, and the music scene there is kind of weird. It's like someone will go play and they're like, my grandpa plays better than you. Which sounds like a dig, but it's also true. So it's like, well, maybe, yeah, probably does. There's so much talent there, and either it farms across the country and touring musicians, or there's just a lot of old boys that sit in the hills and play, and are just. They're having the time of their lives, but it's just sort of lost into the ether, which always makes me a little sad. That I'm like, man, I just wish somebody just record it on something and send it in somewhere,
Yeah.
So.
Can you imagine all the great recordings that have never happened?
Yeah. And of course we had the Ozarks Jubilee in Springfield, which was a pretty big thing, like Opry size big, until there got to be some, I don't know all the intricacies of it, but there was, I think maybe some like power struggles, maybe some financial things there that that forced it out, but it was a big deal there. We had Porter Wagner and all those boys down there, and it just sort of went into the mists of history. So
interesting. What made you start playing, and when did you start?
I started with, and this is a plug for public education. I started in 6th grade in the school band. Playing clarinet because everyone else was doing it. Also a big, push for peer pressure. I started on clarinet. I loved it. My mom took me to a couple Leon Redbone concerts, and he had a big clarinet guy in there. And somewhere about a year or so after that, I got a bass guitar for Christmas. And it was fire engine red with a black pick guard. And a big bass amp that just rumbled the house. And my mom said, okay, we can keep renting the clarinet, or I can give you bass guitar lessons. You have to choose.
Oh.
Which is not really a choice as a 6th grader. It's like, no, bass guitar. So I got started on bass, and my mother was a DJ years ago in Memphis, in major market radio in the mid to late 70s.
Really?
Yeah, she had a pretty incredible career. She had some pretty drastic things happen towards the end, and kind of just went back home and got out of that world. But because of that, right from the get-go, I was learning cover songs. That's what you do, right? As you're, in sixth grade, you learn cover songs. And that's how you learn how to play. My mom goes, you need to write your own stuff. Like that's the longevity of a career, is writing your own stuff. Now, since then, for me personally, it's therapeutic, it's cathartic, and it's an integral part of like who I am and how I survive day to day.
An old house and barn, some good solid oak, a roof clad with tin, blown in the wind on some old Missouri back road is where I call my home. She's just laying in a field, she's laying there until stars start to shine, sneaking through the pines in those Ozark hills till God himself gets his fill. And I lost my head when I lost my heart. Yeah, but I know these dreams will never end. Where they start, or Arkansas. Those beautiful hills, the trees standing tall, cracked county roads like a river's to flow, just a sweet southern drawl, and she is a part of it all. She's just walking down a creek, little pebbles are folding, move beneath her toes. The moon begins to show, the crickets are scolding. They don't know the heart she is holding. And I lost my head when I lost my heart. Yeah, but I know these dreams will never end. Where they start, low Arkansas. These fields last forever, empty and vast, gentle and rolling. The wind is consoling. There's nothing to disturb this cast of tall prairie grass. The seed it is sown, though it's just a hill, she knows where I stand. My caution be damned, I will now leave these fields to grow whatever they will. Stories are lost on the young, and I'll never know what will be. But it's never too early to write our history. And I lost my head when I lost my heart. Yeah, but I know these dreams will never end. Where hearts. Low Arkansas, yeah.
Thank you.
Coming up after the break, the lowest pair.
You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
Hi, I'm Ben Hanton, founder of Ben's Brewing Company. At Ben's, we've always appreciated the finer things in life, like great friends, great music, and great beer. Ben's Brewing Company is proud to announce our White Wall Session Ale. This light pale ale is sourced from the finest local ingredients and pairs exceptionally well with great friends and great music.
Enjoy responsibly. Ben's Brewing Company, Yankton, South Dakota.
Good people drink Ben's beer.
You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
The traveling folk duo, the lowest pair, returned to Sioux Falls to perform for Season 7 of the White Wall Sessions. With haunting harmonies and duetting banjos, the group shared new songs with our live studio audience.
What's that?
The lowest pair is Kendall Winter from Olympia, Washington, and Palmer T. Lee from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Minnesota me. And I've been torn open, and I need a friend. I never needed a friend. Well, now the Iron Ranger calls my name, carried by the wind to the driftless plains of the dark-stained waters of old St. Croix. Proud to run when I was a boy, down to the split, down in old Mill City, where I dreamed so hard that I couldn't sleep at night. But I grew up quick in the year of the fire, and the son was born at the funeral pyre, with the family split for the sake of love. Tears rolled into the flood that rose and rolled and flowed in the driftless banks in the year of the moon. Minnesota me and me, and I've been torn open, and I need a friend. I never needed a friend before.
I got cloth for your patchwork guilt. No better way of the river silt. Don't the strings get frayed when the autumn leaves? Weaves unfinished tapestries in the year of the flood. I went to the banks to watch that river rise.
Minnesota me and me, and I've been torn open, and I need a friend. I never needed a friend
return. I curled feet like a fiddlehead fern till the wind unfurled my disposition. Whispered of the water in the driftless mission, and I headed west with the faith and nothing left to lose. But now the Iron Ranger calls my name, carried by the wind at the driftless plains of the dark stained waters of old St. Croix. I'll run when I was a boy. No, the Iron Ranger calls my name, carried by the wind at the driftless plains of the dark stained waters of old St. Croix. I'll run when I was a boy. No, the Iron Ranger calls my name, carried by the wind of the driftless plains of the dark stained waters of old St. Croix. I'll run when I was a boy. No, the Iron Ranger calls my name, carried by the wind of the driftless plains of Maine.
Many more. Thank you.
Welcome to the White Wall Sessions featuring the Lowest Pair. Welcome, you guys.
Thank you.
And this is your second show. You were here in season 3, I think.
I think that's right. It was a while ago.
I guess just jump
yes.
right in. Like, what's changed since then? Yeah.
Oh, nothing.
Business
4
as
years.
usual.
Yeah.
That business as usual I heard described as a never-ending tour. Is that an accurate description of how you guys travel? And
I think it was for the first 2 or 3 years, wasn't it? Like
Yeah, at least.
We pretty much just didn't have rooms, and we had a storage unit in Minneapolis and a storage unit in Olympia, Washington, and went back and forth between the two of them, and around the rest of the country, shuffling things from one to the other, and picking up things at thrift stores to put in both of them.
Now that they're full, we take winters off. And we have a little more balanced tour schedule, sort of. We try. No, it's not true.
I think we do.
You think so?
I'm feeling balanced with it more. We're home. We've both been in Olympia this last winter, and we took about almost 3 months off.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've been trying to just make sure we go home for weeks at a time regularly and catch
It's
up.
a tough balance to keep. I mean, when you've been on the road you guys started in 2013, and so to be annually traveling like that for any amount of time, it's a tough balance to maintain. Yeah. Especially when you have to stop at thrift stores to buy new shoes.
Right.
Yeah. When you leave your shoes in Rapid City all the time and have to.
I love those boots.
It is a hard balance, but I mean, I love the road and I love being home. So it's a good problem to have.
What keeps it home? Since you travel all over and you're still going between Washington and Minnesota, how do you maintain that home?
Well, that's a great question. Well, I'm married and I live on a boat that I own with my husband, and that's very much a home.
So you just straight up got one.
I just straight up got one, a home.
Yeah, I think for me it's sort of like, where my records are at or where my books are at, things like that. I've got a garden now for the first time in like 5 years. Just started renting a room in Olympia that I haven't rented a room in a while. So that's pretty cool. I'm anticipating the feeling of home very soon, and that's exciting.
Community kind of makes a home too. I mean, I think that we do feel at home in many places because we've been doing it for so long. So it gets easier to be on the road. Like we're heading to Minnesota now, and we definitely have a home in Minneapolis too. Like there's other places, and even like we were in Rapid City yesterday, and we know people now because we've been going through there once or twice a year for 4 years, and so we start to have friends in places. Then that helps you feel a sense of home even when you're not like at home.
Is it all travel by van? How are you touring?
No, not a car, a room.
A room. Oh, you got like a place to stay.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Some people would call it a car.
Well, that's true. Well, long story short, I started renting a closet, and it wasn't quite big enough for my record player. But a friend of mine just gifted me his conversion van, hence the car, and it's bigger than the closet, so I'm pretty stoked about that. And it's great. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful gift, but I can't. It doesn't make sense to have a record player in a van, so it's not quite settled yet.
Well, we kind of have a crazy year planned this year. We took on management, and we're seeking a label to put out the record. All right, well, this is a song called Rosie.
Oh, my Rosie, darling. Oh, my Rosie B. Well, I was wrong. I learned my lesson. Won't you come back to me? Oh, my Rosie, darling. Oh, my Rosie B. I was wrong. I learned my lesson. Won't you come back to me? I once had your love. It was pure and good. When I was young, I took it for granted. I misunderstood. If I had your love, I tell you what I'd do. I would kiss those hard-working hands, and I would marry you. Oh, my Rosie, darling. Oh, my Rosie B. I was wrong, but I learned my lesson. Won't you come back to me? Oh, my Rosie, darling. Oh, my Rosie B. I was wrong, but I learned my lesson. Won't you come back to me? Hold me to the light. I will see it through.
Rosie, darling.
Oh, my Rosie B.
Oh, my Rosie B.
I was wrong. I learned my lesson. Won't you come back to me?
Oh, my Rosie, darling. Oh, my Rosie B. I was wrong, but I learned my lesson. Won't you come back to me? Oh, my Rosie, darling. Oh, my Rosie B. I was wrong, but I learned my lesson. Won't you come back? Won't you come back? Won't you come back to
me?
Thank you.
You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
Hi, I'm Ben Hanton, founder of Ben's Brewing Company. At Ben's, we've always appreciated the finer things in life, like great friends, great music, and great beer. Ben's Brewing Company is proud to announce our White Wall Session Ale. This light pale ale is sourced from the finest local ingredients and pairs exceptionally well with great friends and great music.
Enjoy responsibly. Ben's Brewing Company, Yankton, South Dakota.
Good people drink Ben's beer.
You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
The studio lit up when the amazing Elizabeth Cook walked in with her guitar. Elizabeth has an extensive career in music and as a host on Sirius XM Radio. She has worked with many greats, including John Prine, Dwight Yoakam, Carlene Carter, Jason Isbell, and more. We were thrilled to have her as one of our Season 7 highlights.
Sipping on your daddy's swing from home, so it's easy for me to tell you the truth. I bear this soul, I bear this pain. Each thing is hurt, no, it ain't in vain. So don't come sounding crazy, we start up here, and don't forget your souvenir. These days, on one long night, I hear my mother calling out my name. I can feel the eyes bounce off me, yeah, you can believe this shit ain't free. And it's alright and it's all true, keep talking about anybody but you. 'Cause when the tears roll, they flower my tongue, where there's smoke, it warms my lungs. You think I can't take the heat? They don't sell crack on Cleveland Street these days. On one long night, I So now we'll rest in Noreen's arms where I can't hear faltered lungs. I sing with sirens of the sea, a million miles from purgatory. Maybe in the morning I'll get some rest, take another stranger's head to my chest. These days are one long night. I hear my mother calling out my name. These days they come out of spite. I hear my mother calling out, hear my mother calling out, hear my mother calling out my name. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
We are here at the White Wall Sessions with Elizabeth Cook. Welcome, Elizabeth.
Thank you. Good to be here.
This is a great night. We're happy to have you.
Thank you.
So you are from Florida, originally born and raised.
Yes.
Where do you call home now? Is that
Nashville.
Nashville and the road, kind of?
And the road, yeah. That, according to all my luggage, yes. There's I travel with a lot of stuff. Yeah.
So, real quick, did you grow up in a musical family?
Yes. My mother was a really good and happening hillbilly singer in Charleston, West Virginia. And she had a duo with another girl. And this is like mid-40s. And she had me when she was 42 years old. So they would play these radio shows, like all these old farm hours that would come on in the morning. Radio was live, and coal miners would be getting up to go into ride the train. And so they just had like live, almost little Opry shows on the radio. And so she played those, and she was great. And then, my daddy, he was a bass player.
So what did your mother play?
She played guitar and sang, and she wrote songs, and then she was like really good on mandolin, but had never really developed it. But she could, like, I would watch her face if we were just sitting around the trailer jamming, like she decided she wanted to play mandolin, just pick out a solo. She had never played in her life. And
really?
Yeah, that was wild.
Now, how do you suppose she learned? I mean, you can't she didn't have YouTube to look up lessons.
No kidding. Well, she said that her older brother, my Uncle Daryl, bought her a Gibson guitar, when she was 12 years old. And she sat up there and on the porch swing and old like holler, and knew like 3 chords. And there was such an expansive family. She knew like some uncles and stuff that would do little bluegrass jams on their porch and stuff. Dirt poor people, real deep Appalachian actual stuff going on. And so she was around that. But she said she learned to play mandolin because she kept skipping school, and because she had a Bill Monroe record, and she would play Bill Monroe on vinyl and try to play along to Bill Monroe. So I guess that was a good reference for mandolin. But that's from what I understand. I wish I knew more, but that's what I.
Well, that Appalachian, you think of the Carter family, obviously, and some of those, and it's as much about the geography as it is about the people that spread those songs around and create those great sounds. Yeah,
well, that's where those people ended up, the socioeconomic circumstances and on down. They were all congregated there.
Speaking of guitar, you usually, I've seen you play Gibsons a lot. You've got this beautiful Martin here.
Yeah, I have a few different ones. I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with guitars, to be honest. Like, it's sort of an occupational hazard for me. I have like arthritis in my hands. It kind of hurts. And I was like, but I do enjoy ones that sound really good. And I have a Martin. It sounds great. I have Gibson that sounds great that Dwight Yoakam actually gave me, and it's a beautiful guitar. And then I have some Fender guitars, acoustics and stuff. Yeah. Well,
you write some really amazing songs.
Thank you.
I mean, really amazing. Where do those come from? And do you do more writing than songs, or do you just feel that, a song comes and there's words and there's melody?
Well, both those things. I think I'm always actively taking things in, whether it's just a snippet of something I saw at a truck stop or anything, or something I read on the internet, or it can be anything. So I'm always like taking things, and like little moments strike me all the time in like an emotional way. And so I try to start taking a record of those and sort of journaling them. And sometimes it'll just automatically like spring to music. I'll know the sway of it, and it all comes at one time.
Really?
But once I'm bad, wouldn't say bad, but once I get to, a verse and a chorus or so in, I feel like I've got a little nugget, I kind of walk away and leave it for a long time. And I got some songs I've been writing for 10 years, and I'll continue to write on them. And then some songs I'll write in one day.
Amazing. You seem to pack a lot of emotion, a lot of, you paint a really deep picture, with few words that all happen to rhyme and land on the perfect, chords and that. Yeah. It's really well done. I mean, is what I'm trying to say.
I was really into math. I like math a lot. And I think that, so I consider phrasing, and
do you think that helps?
The shrinks would tell you I grew up in a chaotic household, so I like structure. And that's why I like, 2 + 2 is 4. I need finite things that I can wrap my head around that don't have an emotional play. So, math was my jam. I loved math a lot. People want to hear a certain sound. They have an expectation. Some people, I feel like, consume music and they want a little more layers and nuances to it. And those are, the folks that I guess I end up serving, I hope.
Yeah. Who are your favorite songwriters? Tough question, right?
Yeah, John Prine and Todd Snyder, Willie Nelson, Merle Haggard, Beyonce, Lizzo, True, Loretta Lynn. Anybody that, you really feel like is throwing down for themselves. And then also that can just, sometimes that magic thing happens where, man, this song just sounds like it's always been here, like since Earth. And I feel like that way about a lot of Willie Nelson and Merle Haggard songs, and even songs songs by great people that I've never heard before, I've already heard. I think I write from a very real place for me, even if it's not my story. For some reason, I'm inside it and I'm calling the shots in it. So it is all personal.
Check out where you're born around my neck. Ding-a-ling low, ding-a-ling low. Wonder if they still go. If they take the time to dance, a flash in the underpants, can't in the winter lemon tree. Here on my knees, and their heart attack into ding-a-ling low, ding-a-ling low. Let's take time to recognize all the very best goodbyes, how they paid a silent pay in that brutal aftermath. Let's not for the righteous day, hear them weeping with no ache. There's no slowing down skies. Let's take time to recognize. I wear your bones around my neck. check. I wear your bones around my Thank y'all so much. Thank you for coming.
White Wall Sessions is recorded at Last Stop Studios in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and is produced by Spectrum Films Incorporated. Executive producers are Jeff Zuger, Doug Taylor, Greggy Johnson, and Jay Fishback. Head of broadcast is Dave Palmer. Associate producer is Mike Yeager. The White Wall Sessions Radio is produced and edited by Jeff Zuger. Audio recording and mixing by Carl Koiser, Kevin Phipps, and Dave Palmer. Scheduling and artist relations, Tom Eisner. I'm your host, Dan Schaefer. Join us next week, same time, same station.
You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.